getting into this. And up next is going to be our TvT. So we had a couple of mirror matchups here. Up next is going to be Maru versus GuMiho in a turn versus Terran. And again, these two have a bit of a history here. If you remember, GuMiho did defeat Maru during the GSL Season 1 qualifiers. We did cover that, and GuMiho he was able to flex and able to show off his TvT prowess, of course. Likewise, that then led into their rematch that they had in the last, also in the group stage, where Maru played Protoss. Maru, he did play Protoss against GuMiho, and he was not able to catch him off guard. GuMiho, he was able to shut him down in that TvP. Then Maru got his revenge. I believe it was in this season's qualifiers. Maru, he was able to bring down GuMiho during the winners match, during the winners matches, I should say, of this season's GSL. Of course, both players still made it through into GSL, but Maru, he was able to get his revenge, and now they face off once again. This time, just checking, in a TvT. Okay, so Maru, he's not playing Protoss this time. He's not playing Protoss. He's not going to be off racing. This time he's going to be committing to his main race, and I'm a little bit concerned about this. This is the elimination match. This is the elimination match. The loser of this series is going to be eliminated from GSL, and more importantly, I'm concerned about the possible mech versus mech. GuMiho, he does very often embrace mech in TvT, and Maru, he does mix it up. Like, he can play biotank or he can play mech. He does enjoy mixing it up in this matchup as well. So we could end up in a mech versus mech matchup. I'm hoping we don't, but it's possible. It is very possible here. Let's find out. Let's jump into game number 1. Let's jump into Ultra Love. Let's go. And again, we've been casting so much TvT as of late from the Korean scene. If you're here for the EWC Korea qualifiers, you would know that we casted Bunny, Ryung, Byun, GuMiho, and Kyor. All those 5 Terrans, they face off so often in those qualifiers. We casted so many TvTs between all of them, and now that does continue. Again, Korea has become over time a more Terran heavy kind of region, as seen in those qualifiers, but here we have 2 of them, and we'll see who comes out on top of this. TvT is spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Ultra Love. We have our South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Seoul Esports, SAUL. It is GuMiho. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. Ooh, as GuMiho, he does open up with a proxy 2x Reaper. Let's go. So 2x Reaper here out of GuMiho. Meanwhile, Maru, does he take a second gas? Does Maru play safe, or does he play greedy? If he goes for a Rax Expand, there is a chance that GuMiho can get damage done and potentially snowball into a win. Ooh. Single gas. Yeah, single gas opener. What does this mean? Maru, he's going for a Rax Expand, but Maru, he's scouting. Yeah, he's going for the SCV scout. He does move in, and he will get eyes on the Raxes. Big scout here for Maru. He sees what's coming. He can now respond and shut it down. Ooh, oh boy. So a very nice scout here from Maru. From here, he won't be able to stop the Raxes, but he at least is aware. He's at least aware of what's going on. The Raxes, they will complete. Behind this, doesn't respond with a second gas. Ooh, this is greedy. This is greedy here. He's going for the bunker on the high ground, and he's going to be delaying his factory. Okay. This is greedy. This is a greedy response. We'll see if Maru can get away with this. I mean, again, it's a little bit unfortunate that he did open up with a single gas geyser, so he has limited income. There it is now. Factory's on the way. Factory is going to be on the way. Likewise, Reaper does rotate. Okay, GuMiho looking for a way in. I mean, with the help of this bunker, he cannot push up the ramp into the main, and he's already transitioning. Factory is on the way back at home for GuMiho. He does go in. Ideally, he wants that Reaper. He does want it. Not going to be towed away. Nice shuffling there by GuMiho. Is forced out. And Maru holds. Maru, he does hold on. CC on the high ground, further back. And it's going to be all about containing Maru. As GuMiho is not stopping Reaper production, by the way. Is not stopping. Focusing down that depot. Deeper taking a lot of hits. Again, Maru, he chose not to get a bunker on the ramp. Like, typically we see 2 bunkers here, only 1. So again, Maru being greedy, but the Hellion has arrived. Maru, he's supply blocked. Is supply blocked. Going for a starport follow-up. But with the help of his Hellion, he should be okay. Like, he should be fine. Behind this, GuMiho expands. And again, right now, the win condition or the goal for GuMiho is just contain. Just contain and keep Maru on one base for as long as possible. These Reapers are deflected. Are deflected. Maru going to be zoned back. GuMiho settling in, going to, yeah, as we expected, going into mech. We did mention at the start of the broadcast, or at the start of this series, that GuMiho is one that does enjoy embracing mech, quite more often than not. Maru is also willing to, so we'll see if we also go for a second factory. I hope not, but it's possible. Now we'll expand, we'll claim as natural. Third TC at a good, very fast third TC, by the way. 0 saturation. He has 1 SCV at the natural base and he rushes into a third. He's crazy. Very greedy. The greed is real here from GuMiho. Still, of course, going into Cyclone production. So is Maru. Just to be safe. Speaking of greed, yep, there we go. Third TC also on the way. So both players, they are as greedy as each other. We're playing some TvT. I mean, it makes sense just because both players, their expansions are delayed. So typically, if your base is late, then you want to double expand. So both players are rushing into it. Disable on the way for GuMiho. Going into interference matrix. GuMiho picks up a couple of Marines, nothing major. Just a couple of Marines. Pulls away. And I'm still waiting to see what Maru goes for. For now, just going to tank production, reactoring our Marines just to be safe. And waiting for a second Rex or a second factory. I feel like at this point we've already seen a second factory, so it looks like this should be biotank. Should be. Meanwhile, third Rex out of GuMiho. Getting his third Rex. God damn it. I was coping. I was like, oh, you know what? We've gone this far without a second factory. It's probably going to be bio tank, right? No, baby, no. We have more factories going up to a triple factory setup. It is going to be mech versus mech. And again, not the first time we've seen this out of Maru to see him in mech versus mech. We've seen that him do this against GuMiho, against Cure, against Bunny. As I mentioned, Maru does like to mix it up and do both. But the problem here is that GuMiho, he was born in the mech. He thrives in the mech. Like we were giving praise to GuMiho's mech against Rogue earlier as well. Like there was a little bit more finesse to it than Maru's mech. And likewise here, because of GuMiho's advantage, because he was able to get his third base up and running a little bit faster, and now his third base a little bit faster as well, is able to get into his own backfill accelerators. Cyclones, they're picking up a couple units here and there, nothing major. Tank count is building up. We have so far 3 tanks for Maru. Meanwhile, GuMiho is making 2 tanks at a time. Ooh, meanwhile, Maru being greedy, going into double armory, and GuMiho scouts. He confirms. GuMiho, he does see the armories. He is aware of the factories. Likewise, he also sees the 4th CC in production. So upgrades are going to be in favor here of Maru. We'll have those upgrades. GuMiho instead, he has the army. Oh, goes for disable. Cyclones moving in. And forcing out those auto turrets. Forcing a response here from the Ravens of Maru. I Nicely done. Again, that Raven energy is a resource, and we have to ideally try to force it out, or have that advantage over our opponent. Likewise, nice catch. Maru catching out those tanks, moving forward, but here come the Cyclones. And he's edging ever closer. Looks like he will get on top of the tank. He will focus it down. Oh, just barely. Does trade. In doing so, he does save his own tank. Oh, boys being pulled in. SCVs are going down. Lock-ons, they take down another tank. Trades 2 for 2. On top of that, gets 5 SCVs. GuMiho does pull away. And that's a lot of Ravens. That's 6 Ravens for Maru. If you remember when we casted Maru versus Ryung, this was last year, it was very similar. It was actually an Ultra Love, because Ultra Love's been around for 2 seasons now. But Ryung versus Maru was very similar, where Maru, he rushed into early armories, into earlier upgrades, and into earlier Raven, then into Mass Raven a lot faster as well. Like, he's so much more willing to just rush into Mass Raven when he plays mech like this. And Ultra Love is a map where we're known for cutting this map in half. Like, there's a lot of different points of elevation and choke points, so you can cut the map in half and slow the game down. Like, this game right now is looking eerily similar to Maru versus Ryung. Very similar. The difference being that Ryung took a lead. Like, Ryung, he was ahead. And then the game slowed down to a crawl and he lost that lead. Ryung, of course, known for having some of, if not the best TvT in the world. Like, it was a crazy TvT that he had against Maru. On Ultra Love. That's GuMiho going for his own double drop. Dropping into the natural. Turrets aren't ready. Just barely not in time. Yeah, Maru out of position. Barely not ready for this. Tank flow is going up. Ooh, and the tank is within range. At the same time, GuMiho pushing in between the bases. Yeah, nice disables, wedging himself in between the natural and the third. Once again, Maru not quite in position. These tanks are going to be going down, and he's going straight for that natural, actually pushing into the third. Ooh, this time less certain of. Yeah, there are more tanks behind this. Yeah, he has to pull away, has to back up, rotates over, and heads towards the natural. The natural is more exposed. Trying to force his way up the ramp. Auto starts are thrown down. And GuMiho, he barely cannot break through. And Maru's holding. Maru, he holds the ramp. GuMiho, he doesn't relent. Wants to keep pushing, but he's up against 6 Ravens. Like, again, like, sorry, 7 Ravens. There are just so many Ravens, and they trade so well. Despite that, does get into the mineral line. Forcing friendly fire. Nice control. Nice control. Hey, you get 17 SCVs. Workers have been going down. GuMiho, he's on 91 workers plus mules. He's crazy. Has a very high economy, very high SCV count. His economy is booming, catching out some reinforcements, zoning back those Ravens. The Vikings are the MVPs. Where's the anti-air? No Cyclones. No Cyclones, no Vikings. GuMiho, he zones away those Ravens. Remember, this is the big advantage that Maru has, is the high Raven count. And now he can't use it. Maru trying to make his own Cyclones. GuMiho still reinforcing with Cyclones himself. He's got his tank line and he's going for the third. There's only 2 tanks. Yeah, only 2. 2 tanks, that's not enough. Locons are brutal. Tank goes down. He gets 1, he gets 2. Takes down 2 tanks, and there's nothing here. Yeah, there's nothing left. There's auto turrets, and that's it. And we just walk away. We just walk away from the auto turrets. GuMiho, you can just stay out of range. More Vikings have arrived. Tanks are on the high ground. But there's only so much they can do, and GuMiho is overwhelming. He's just overwhelming the army. Overwhelms the third. Now Maru's stuck on 3 bases. Really stuck on 2.5. And this base, it's not going to survive. No shots. No planetary, it's an orbital. Maru, he's scanning. He's figuring out. It's like, There's all these expansions, all these bases. He does break out, though. A massive breakout. Does take down the siege line, but at the same time, he'll lose the base. And he's all in. Maru, he's 2 base all in. But he does trade well. Like, again, this Mass Raven disables all the tanks, cleans everything up, almost completely resets the tank counts. But GuMiho can remax. GuMiho, he can just rebuild, he can remax. GuMiho can afford these losses, and Maru cannot. As again, Maru, he has 2 patches in the main, and he's undersaturated here at the natural. So again, 1 base economy, essentially. Maybe 1.5 at most. Oh god. Oh, the Welcomes takes out the Ravens. That was the one thing keeping Maru in this, was the high Raven counts. Now down to 2. Was 1-7. 2 Ravens left. GuMiho moving in. Takes down the tank. And there's the final army here of Maru. Trying to push out as well. And again, these tanks, they hold their own. Like Maru, he's trading well. He's trading efficiently. Takes down the Vikings, takes down the Cyclones. The problem is that GuMiho's on 87 SCVs. It's on 87 workers, man. Yeah. Is that GuMiho is making 6 tanks at a time. Vikings, Hellions. Maru's gonna keep going. His win condition is to somehow get into the main. If he can get into the main, get on top of the production, then he can end it. Ooh. Runs into the tank line. And runs into tanks. Oof. Loses the final Raven. And that's going to be it. That's the final army. GG gets called. And GuMiho, he will take the game. He will take a lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. GuMiho, he will take a lead. Again, a very intense game here. It all began with the proxy out of GuMiho, where he was able to contain Maru. He didn't do any critical damage, but did contain him. From there, GuMiho was able to take his faster natural, able to take his faster 3rd base. From there, able to get into a faster switch into mech, of course, into his Cyclones. We saw that Maru was able to hold his own for a time, especially with that higher Raven count. But GuMiho, the kill move there, as things were looking pretty close between the 2 players, was dropping into the natural. Remember, he dropped into the natural base. It was 4 tanks behind the mineral line. He was able to siege and completely deny any kind of mining at that natural. At the same time, he moved in with his main army, and because of his positioning, because his tanks were wedged in between the natural and the 3rd, it meant that Maru, he couldn't rotate. He couldn't freely rotate between his bases, so he was trapped, he was stuck, he was pinned back against the wall, and GuMiho did just apply pressure and just broke him from there. GG. So really impressive move there from GuMiho. With that, went for the kill, and that leads us here into game 2. We'll see if Maru can bounce back, recover, and force the ace match. We'll see if GuMiho will take it here and now. Let's go. Let us go. So jumping into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Blue Terran. The Blue Terran representing SAUL Esports. Seoul Esports leading the series 1-0. It is GuMiho. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Red Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Team Vitality down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can make a series out of this. The pressure is on. It is Maru. Here we go. And this time, let's do it again. We see not just 1, but 2 SCVs. GuMiho with the Proxy 2X Reaper 2 games in a row. And I do like this, actually. I like this because what are the chances that GuMiho does this 2 games in a row, right? What are the chances? What are the odds? He's not that crazy. He is. Now, thankfully for Maru, we are loading into a large map. I would say it is more common to go for an economic build here on Tokamak. Maru does not SCV scout, but he does go double gas. Safe opener this time. So much safer opener with this double gas into a faster factory. Maru, he will have the tools to defend. He should have a cleaner defense than what he had in game 1. So nice read here out of Maru. Doesn't risk it, not against GuMiho. Of course, it still comes down to unit control. Maru, he scouts a natural, pulls back. From here is setting up. go. Here we go. See someone asking in the chat, in our YouTube chat, how can we support the channel other than on Twitch? That will be the most helpful. We do have a Patreon. Our Patreon specifically funds our tournaments, so it depends like kind of where you want the support to go. As the Reapers, they do bust into the main. Ooh, does not delay the factory. Ooh, that was close. Does not delay. Boys are being pulled, but he will catch the first Reaper. Oh, that shouldn't have happened. The Reaper does go down, but thankfully it trades 1-to-1. Somewhat trades though, as Maru, he will lose that second Reaper, trying to escape, trying to get away. He cannot escape though. Second Reaper goes down. CC is going to be delayed. This is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand here. The Hellion is on the way, but that's going to be 2 SCV kills. The Hellion, no, he forces the cancel. He cancels it. Oh god. Oh no. That should not have happened, baby. I mean, it all just escalated, right? Because 2 Reapers went down, because of that, there was more damage being done here to the CC. The Hellion will defend, but losing that CC was brutal. Oh boy. And GuMiho takes a lead. GuMiho does take a lead. I was praising Maru for going for his safe opener, but losing that first Reaper, that should not have happened. And to lose those Reapers early on just escalated and snowballed out of control into this kind of game state. Where Maru's not dead, not at all. The Hellions will help him survive. But the problem here is that he's behind, and he shouldn't be. Like, his opener was meant to be safe, and he has fallen behind. And he's relying quite heavily here on the drop play. Medevac is on the way, going for a counter drop. This has to get damage done. Ay, ay, ay. But yeah, someone was asking about how to support. We do have a Patreon. We have a Patreon, but specifically our Patreon full is like 100% of the money on Patreon goes towards our tournaments, so we don't get any of that. That all goes towards the players. All goes towards the players. All goes towards the scene, the StarCraft scene. So if you want to help StarCraft as a whole, then Patreon is the place to be. If you want to support us, then that's where like subscribing on Twitch or becoming a YouTube member or donations. We don't really push donations too much. We probably should change that. Like, we don't have like a donation bar or anything. Which does dissuade donations, so we should probably do something about that at some point. But that is possible, is there? Otherwise, we're settling in. Otherwise, we are settling in. Maru, because he's behind, double expand. We saw this last game as well, if you remember. Rushing into a third CC. Likewise, so is GuMiho. So both players taking their third CCs. I will say that GuMiho is in a better position here. He has faster saturation. He has the faster mules. He already has the orbital. The orbital is just now beginning here for Maru. And from here, GuMiho, I would imagine, is going to go into mech. Now the question becomes, does Maru go into mech again? It's possible. We could see more mech versus mech. Could happen. Maru moving out with the empty medevac. From here, he can at least scout. True. And you said, I see double eBay. Let's go. That was not gonna lie, especially coming to Tokamak, I was concerned we were gonna play mech again, especially after Maru took a bit of a loss early on, after he fell behind. But no, double eBay. We're bioing it up. Ah, let's go. The man with gun is coming. Getting into bio tank, working towards marine production. Let's go. There we go. As we do have the add-on swap, we have 2 more Raxes on the way. Meanwhile, GuMiho. Ooh. Also, double eBay. Okay, again, this also, I mean, we did emphasize this earlier when we were covering GuMiho in his TvZ, is that GuMiho, what's scary about him is that he doesn't just only play mech, is that he does play bio as well. And there it is, double eBay into also stim, scan, revealed stim. And we have mirrored builds, or mirrored kind of compositions. Bio tank versus bio tank. When it comes to our current compositions as well, both players have 3 Ravens. Oh, my apologies. We have 3 Ravens out of GuMiho. We have 2 Ravens out of Maru. Tank count is neck and neck. And GuMiho is going to be the first to expand. And both players have their third CCs, but GuMiho is on location. Maru, he is staying further back. Hellion does confirm the CC. And now it's time to expand. So Maru, he is one step behind when it comes to his CC timing, but he's getting there. He is getting there. He is going to be setting up at his third. GuMiho rotating over. Does move out. Going to be skirting around the left-hand side. Maru likewise trying to keep up. Also getting in position. Setting up as well. GuMiho does threaten the natural. There's a turret. He avoids it. Does avoid it. Does harass at least somewhat. Ooh, taking a lot of hits. Oh my god. Does take a lot of damage. Marines are ready. And you can see how much faster it is to respond to this with a more bio-heavy composition. Like Maru, he's able to respond. Shuts down the initial push. Across the map, delays the force CC. And we have a back and forth. Have a back and forth here. Maru pushing in. Does rotate. GuMiho is keeping up. Do we base trade? Uh oh. GuMiho, he avoids the army. We're just going across the map, and we're going for the base trade. And Maru doesn't know. He doesn't know what's happening. Maru, he will hit the fourth. At the same time, GuMiho just going straight for the third. And Maru, he's late to the base trade, now moving in. GuMiho, he ignores the third. Has to keep going. Has to keep pushing. Oh no! Oh, the Ravens overextend. Yeah, massive misstep there from GuMiho. Well, he does disable the tank. The Marines, they stim in. He wants that tank. He wants it. He's running in. Yeah, it does rush forward. And the tank will barely siege. It sieges for a moment, but it's disabled once again. And GuMiho, he's done it. He breaks the main. Does rush in at the same time. Maru doing the same. Okay, does the same thing. Also rushes into the main base as well. The buildings are under threat. Uh-oh. And the problem here is that GuMiho, he has mining. He has mining, he has an expansion. Buildings are trying to float away. Maru pushing in. He has to push into the tank. He does have Ravens though. There's a Sable. Does a Sable. GuMiho, he will be cleaned up here. But how quickly can we destroy the buildings? That's a question. The CC won't escape. Yeah, the command center will not escape. This one here might float away. As we have four potential floating buildings. Okay, this rack is gonna die. This CC will not escape. Neither will the starport. Yeah, Maru, he's late. He's late to lift. Late to float away. GuMiho is already abandoning his base. He's already floating over. And Maru, he's late. He's late to float away. The starport goes down. The CC goes down. This is it. The factory's the one chance. The one chance to force a draw. And even then, he shouldn't be able to. GuMiho has mining. GuMiho is floating over. He should have mining. Maru doing what he can. Maru, he's racing back. The factory gets away. That shouldn't have happened. But the factory does float away. Does not catch fire. Maru turns around. He has Ravens. GuMiho does not. Oh, sorry, he has two. Never mind. He has two. The CCs are floating back. Maru stims in. GuMiho, he should save the expansion. Yeah, GuMiho, he's in a better position. He's already set up. Oh my god. He shuts down the Marines. And Maru, he cannot break this. He cannot break the siege. He's trying to break his own main. It's not going to happen. GG gets called. And GuMiho, he will take the series 2-0, eliminating Maru from GSL. GG. Whew. GG, well played again. I mean, the game was evening up. The game was getting close here between both Maru and GuMiho, but GuMiho was the first to initiate the base trade. He was so much faster to bust into the main to go for all the buildings. GuMiho did slip up when it came to not focusing down that factory. Because of that, there was potential to try to force a draw as the factory did float away, but GuMiho, he saved his mineral line. He saved his third base, he pulled the mineral line away, and he saved 2 orbitals as well. So he had mining, which means he could eventually build a starport and eventually build a Viking and killed Maru. So Maru, he had no win condition there. He had to try to go for the fights, but GuMiho, he was already set up. He was just already set up. Again, GuMiho, he was 1 step, if not 2 steps ahead in that base trade. And Maru, I mean, he just had to react, and alas, reacted late to it. GG. GG, well played. Again, it took a little bit too long for Maru to realize what was happening, and GuMiho, he does eliminate Maru. Again, as we mentioned, GuMiho, he did take down Maru last season in GSL Season 1, and he does it again, GSL Season 2. Both seasons this year, GuMiho eliminates Maru. Crazy. Both seasons back. GuMiho, he has his number. Does have his number here. So GG, well played. With that, GuMiho does claim it. And with that, we are now moving on to our decider match. Oh boy, to determine the final player to make it through.